Hello everyone, Josh12 back here again with another fucking review! Let me try and dial that back. I'm here with another Dragon Ball Super chapter review. Also, I'm going to be adding my Black Friday haul video, considering the fact that I was originally going to do two separate videos for these two topics, but I really want to focus my time on making more DC videos, very similar to my infamous Suicide Squad video that got me a lot of beautiful hate, I might add. So I want to focus my time on that kind of content, and I'm just going to have a ball with it. So I decided just to beat down two birds with one stone here and just get these two contents right out of the way just in one video. So that's pretty much what I'm doing, and let's just get on with it. Dragon Ball Super chapter review of chapter 18 of the manga. Also my Goku Black Friday. When you have a show that's based around puns for its comedy, it convolutes the brain. I'm sorry, it just does. Terrible jokes, I know. But disregarding that, the thing that I really want to discuss before I get into my actual review is the latest Dragon Ball Super news and content we've gotten. Obviously, Toonami Asia has released their English dub, which is pretty interesting. I got to listen to some of it. I really don't care, seeing as how it has no effect on me, so it really means nothing to me. However, what Toyamation and Funimation recently, at to this point of me doing this review, they officially released the cast list for the English dub for Dragon Ball Super by Funimation. Really cool stuff there. You can see, I'll probably end up having a link in the description below so you can check out the official cast and news about what Funimation's going to do with the Super anime. And it's really nice. I really enjoy the fact that they really gave us this content already. I'm really highly anticipating the English dub for Super by Funimation. And the cast is pretty much on point. It's pretty much everyone you would expect from Z to come over to Super. It's pretty much an average cast list, I might add. When you look at it from a personal perspective, if you're a huge fan, there are significant changes though. Really small and minimal, but they are there. And most notably, which I caught on, which was obviously the lacking of Laura Bailey. For those you don't know, Laura Bailey played and voiced the character Kid Trunks from Dragon Ball Z and most of the movies and stuff like that. And apparently when it comes down to Kid Trunks' character has been recasted for the Super dub, and of course a lot of people have been talking about this. I find it very unfortunate. However, Chris Sabat on his Twitter kind of gave his personal thoughts on why that is. It's pretty much just Laura Bailey being too busy to do Dragon Ball Super dub, and it's just a huge hassle overall. That was the general gist he was kind of going on Twitter, and I completely understand it. I mean, like, when you have Laura Bailey, who's an excellent voice actress and who's been killing it, especially in the video game industry right now with her voice talent, I mean, like, it's hard to really get into other things that may not be a main priority in a certain career, I guess you could say. And plus, when you take the role of Catwoman in the Batman verse, it's kind of like, here's Catwoman, and then it's kind of like a huge, like, no matter how much we love these characters, it's kind of a huge degrade to just go back to Kid Trunks. I don't know how, that's maybe my perspective on it, but that's how I kind of view it. I mean, like, she's Catwoman in Batman Telltales, and doing a freaking phenomenal job, I might add. So, it is unfortunate she isn't coming back for Kid Trunks. I really enjoyed her version and her portrayal of that character, but it is what it is. Everyone else is pretty much coming back, the essentials, if you will, and with some minor changes very similar to Laura Bailey, but that's pretty much the only significant casting that we got from this whole Funimation Super dub news. But you can check it out in the link below. And of course, also on that, over in Japan, when this chapter was coming out, we got the huge reveal and article for the Volume 2 of the manga, which will be coming out sometime this month, if I'm not mistaken, or December rather. So it's going to be very cool. I don't know if I'm going to pick up Volume 2 like I did with Volume 1 over in Japan, but we'll see what happens. I definitely love the artwork Toyotarō did. That double splash panel poster he posted with the Universe 6 and 7 characters fighting each other. Oh my god, that's the tits right there. That fucking... Dude, do more of that fucking shit. I've been saying this for majority of my reviews now. Do more of that shit, Toyotarō. It's fucking that double splash panel of them attacking each other and Goku and Hitch is looking at each... My God, I want that fucking image. It's so fucking, just do more of that in the manga, please. I beg of you. That's what I want for Christmas. Some splash pages in these fucking chapters of the fucking manga. Please do that, Toyotarō. But anyways, let's get into my official review for Dragon Ball Super, the manga, chapter 18. If you've not gone out and read said chapter, please go check it out because this review will contain spoilers. But that being said, let's get into the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super, the manga. Now, the manga itself, last chapter, was very fun, entertaining, mostly boring from certain aspects. This chapter is where the story truly progresses, and it has the same hits and beats of the anime, but this is where the chapter of the manga significantly changes the perspective, the storytelling from the anime, and I'll get into that in very soon. The first half is pretty much just getting to the Omni King, Goku, Whis, and Supreme Kai end up meeting with the Grand Priest, and we learn some various information about Whis and said Grand Priest like we did in the anime. In the manga, we find out that Whis and Vados and characters like him are angels, and apparently the Grand Priest is his father, not to mention one of the strongest and most powerful characters in the entire Dragon Ball Super universe, or universes. I don't know. It depends on your personal translation from manga to anime. Disregarding that, Omni King wants Goku to be his best friend. It's very fun and cute and hilarious, very much like the anime, and we pretty much sidestep through that to finding out another character to take the place as best friend to Omni King. In the anime, it's actually future Omni King, and for all you only manga readers, I know that sounds confusing, but trust me, the story will continue to get more convoluted and retconny as we go along, so we're just going to have to deal with that. But yes, future Omni King in the anime does become friends with current Omni King. I don't know if that's the same thing they're going to go out with the manga, but we'll have to wait and see, and we end up going back to present day, and this is where my major negative with the chapter, or at least one of my two major negatives with the chapter coincide, which is when the rest of the characters go back to present day on Earth, they meet up with Capito Kai. Now, for those who don't know, in the manga, Capito Kai has kind of been like this ongoing gag that he is secretly the bad guy of the story because of Supreme Kai's off-the-cuff remark about him being like introverted and like not really liking humans and mortals that much. So they suspect that he is truly Goku Black, or Black as I specifically like dub him. And it's just really garbage. I just never liked that ongoing gag and joke. It's meant for comedic purposes, like, who is Goku Black? I mean, like, if you've not seen the anime, it's pretty fucking obvious, but even if you watch or read the manga itself, it's also very fucking obvious, so I don't really like the fact they were trying to do that. I feel like if they truly wanted to keep, or at least Toyotarō as a writer, kind of working with Akira Toriyama with the manga, if he truly wanted to create this mysterious, kind of mystery-esque, I guess, storytelling aspect with the arc, he should have just never featured Zamasu at this point. I feel like they should have just saved Zamasu for maybe a later half or second half of this arc in the manga instead of just showing him off like at the last portion of the first chapter of said arc. But it is what it is. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But the gag of Capito Kai just falls short in my personal opinion, and it's just a boring, just out of all the various awesome characters of Super, or Dragon Ball rather, why focus your time on Capito Kai? Like, do some other cool things with the other characters. I'm just saying, like, Capito Kai, like, really, do we need this ongoing bit with him? It just makes no sense and is boring in my personal opinion. We also get more progression with Zamasu as the villain, and once again, like I stated previously in the review, this is where the manga kind of starts to progress farther than what the anime did. In the last chapter, we had the whole go-kart, Mario Kart thing, and we kind of sidestepped and didn't really talk too much about the Black going into the present day via Time Ring. And that was kind of missing from the manga chapter. This chapter, they're doing, like Toyotarō, he did mention in his interview that the manga would be surpassing the anime at certain points. Granted, the anime is in filler time, so Toyotarō has a lot of time to do that. However, it's very prevalent in this chapter because when you look at the chapter in the story beats in comparison to the anime, it's skipping a lot of things, it's also changing a lot of things, and it's creating certain aspects to shift the tone of the storytelling, the narrative rather, not the real tone, but the narrative. And what I mean by that is, certain characters don't do the same things they did in the anime. Of course, the whole filler-esque kind of moments with Capito Kai and the stuff like that are pretty much excluded from the anime and only for manga purposes, but there are things that change drastically. For instance, the Zamasu debacle. Zamasu does go off and see Zuno about the whole Dragon Balls, the Super Dragon Balls and stuff like that. However, in the anime, Goku goes with Beerus and Whis to check out Zamasu and kind of like investigate him and destroy him inevitably. However, in the manga, that doesn't happen. Beerus and Whis go alone, and Goku and Vegeta and Trunks go to the future. And they do specific things that change the narrative as well in comparison to the anime. Like, for instance, Goku actually takes a bag of senzu beans, unlike in his anime counterpart, who completely forgot the fucking thing. Also, Trunks and the rest of the gang, I guess, intelligently decide to keep the time machine in its actual capsule instead of like leaving it out in the open for any character to destroy it. So they also don't do that like in the anime. So they're definitely, Toyotarō is definitely doing things to change the narrative, but it's basically, as we've all known, the manga is a companion series, so it's pretty much the same story, just different ways to get there. So I love the fact that Toyotarō has that freedom, but I also like the fact that he's skipping through filler-esque kind of moments and also skipping certain aspects that can create very convoluted and ongoing horrible pacing for the story and its narrative. Because if there's something I really don't want to see, which could end up happening, we don't know yet, which is the consistent going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between timelines. It's just, that's where the story really loses me and where it becomes very convoluted and just retconny and just brain draining, especially for a series that's like Dragon Ball Super. So I like the fact that they're doing that, and Toyotarō is just doing a much more fun version of said storyline. But of course, when we do inevitably get to the future with our characters, we end up with my second major negative and nitpick from the chapter itself, which is the infamous Goku not kissing Chi-Chi Trunks Mai debacle. Why? Just, I want a good logistical reason as to why fucking do that. I mean, look, I get it. Goku is Huckleberry Finn. He is Peter Pan. He's Mickey Mouse. He's a child for the ages. He's SpongeBob. He's just a kid forever. He's the naive, stupid, adult man-child for the majority of his existence, and he always will be that, and that's why we love him, and I get that, but I don't want to dwell too much on this because I've already ranted about this, but God, it's just a horrendous joke. I mean, like, even as a hardcore Goku fan like myself, even if you're not a hardcore Goku fan or you're a Goku hater, even you have to accept the fact or acknowledge that this is just a horrible joke. I don't know why Toyotarō had to add it. I don't know why Toriyama finds it necessary to add it. It's just, it was bad in the anime, it's bad in the manga, and I don't care what fans tried to mistranslate or give their fake pity on Twitters and Tumblrs and God knows where the fuck else with their fan art and excuses. It's a bad fucking joke. It always was a bad fucking joke. Don't do that. It's just, I know why they're doing it. I just feel like there's a good balance between having a good stoic heroic Goku and a stupid man-child. We can have a mix of that and have comedic fucking one-liners hit the mark without losing the integrity of certain characters. I just feel like you can do that, but they don't seem to be doing that. It's just like, look, Toriyama in a previous interview quotes, he said that he's not good at writing romance. Well, sir, as much as I respect you for the work you've created, this joke defines that you aren't good at it, so don't do it. And even excluding the Goku ridiculousness of the not kissing shit, the Trunks baby feeder senzu bean with Mai, it's like, if you want them to kiss, just let them kiss. Why the fuck you have this baby feeder shit? Like, dog shit. Just dog shit. That's all I have to say. Moving off of that, so the story progresses with Goku and Vegeta leaving Trunks and Mai to recuperate while they go and fend off against Black. We also get to see Black's hideout as we did in the anime, which is this weird cabin place, which is funny. And of course, Black announces his existence, and Vegeta goes off to be more than likely the first competitor to take on Black before we end up possibly finding out about Super Saiyan Rose and shit like that, and hopefully not the horrifyingly stupid back and forth between timelines and stuff like that. So, I guess that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the extent of the chapter we got. But yeah, that's pretty much the chapter itself. It's pretty much just redundant for a certain aspect of the chapter, but then it does, like I said previously, change narratives to speed through the Trunks arc in comparison to the anime, and I'm just very looking forward to how this chapter, or more or less not the chapter, but the manga itself is going to progress through the Trunks saga in comparison to the anime. It really has done a lot to really not explore the time rings and what they can possibly do with Black, his power levels, not to mention Goku and Vegeta, how they've been training, how Trunks is going to factor, will he do the same things he did in the anime, not to mention the fact that if you look at it realistically, they really haven't showed any existence other than just Trunks and Mai in this alternate universe or alternate timeline. It's just, when you look at it, in the anime there was the kids and the people that Trunks and Mai really cared for and had a huge impact on the anime. However, in the manga, they haven't really been featured or have been like an actual existence in this entire arc. So it's very interesting. I think that's probably more than likely maybe the best choice for the manga, because when you think about it realistically in the anime had a lot of controversy for the end of the arc due to the fact that, spoilers, it was pretty much the death of everybody in that universe. So I guess to avoid more heartache in Trunks' life, just exclude that from the overall manga and just go with just being Trunks and Mai. So very interesting stuff, a lot of changes from narrative, but pretty much the same hit and beats of the anime. But overall, I'm looking forward to. If there's anything I'm looking forward to, especially, is the fighting and action between Black and Goku and Vegeta. Hopefully, for the love of everything holy, they don't end up doing some bullshit like Trunks having powers that doesn't make any sense. Also, on top of that, I mean, like, if they want to have him win or defeat Zamasu or Black like he did in the anime, sure, go ahead and do that, but don't do the stupid, like, how does he have these transformations and powers without any explanation? Well, because we made it up on the fly. Oh, okay, thanks. That's not really good explanations, Toymation and Toyotarō and Toriyama, so please don't do that. And if you do, just give a legit off-the-cuff remark as to how and why such things exist. That's all I ask. But disregarding any of that, the chapter itself, it was awesome. My major positives, once again, always has to be Toyotaro's artwork. Granted, most of it is very simplistic, but the things I love is his comedic timing with the way he does his artistry. It's so funny, so good, so rich with humor, but the main thing that is phenomenal with this chapter when it comes to his artistry has to be his inking, his shading, the backgrounds, the foregrounds, and most importantly, in my personal opinion, the architecture. The architecture, skyscrapers, just overall backgrounds of foreground that he creates in the panels are so fucking good. I mean, I said this with the opening of the arc, that the way he built the overall landscape of Trunks' world in the future looked so good in the way he drew it, and I love the fact that he did the same thing. I mean, there's certain panels where Goku and Vegeta are just browsing through the future to see like how it really is different in comparison to their timeline, and it's just this beautiful shot. It almost looks like Central Park, or just like a major like park and city, whether it be in America or Japan or somewhere else in the world. It just looks like a legit landmark that exists, and I love the fact that he's incorporated that into the manga. It just shows how good of an artist he is. I mean, I'm still waiting for those splash pages, Toyotarō. I mean, I'm just saying, you did it with the Volume 2 poster, do it with the fucking manga. Put some fucking double fucking splash pages in this motherfucker. It'll be so tight, I'm just saying. But overall, the Chapter 18 is awesome. Definitely superior into Chapter 17. A lot of fun, a lot of comedy, a lot of world building, a lot new character introductions. Pretty much the same extent as the anime. And of course, we have gone to the future to meet up with Black and throw down fisticuffs style, so it's going to be interesting what happens. But with that being said and done, my final verdict for Chapter 18 of the Super Manga has to be a solid 9.5 out of 10. I love this chapter. Granted, the Capito stuff bugged me, and the infamous Goku no kissing joke, it depresses me to no end, to the point where I just want to beat the I mean, I'm not going to say anything too drastic here. It's not for people to hear. It isn't. But regardless of any of that, the chapter itself as a whole in general was really fucking phenomenal, and I hope you guys enjoyed me reviewing it, and I hope you enjoyed reading it, because it was an awesome fucking addition to Toyotaro's manga. It's just fucking phenomenal. I love it. The GodTuber jokes, the Capito stuff sucked, but at least we got a lot of cool, interesting backgrounds and foregrounds, and plus we got a lot out of the experience of characters doing things. For instance, Beerus and the rest of the gang in space. If there's something that I love DBZ characters being in when it comes to backgrounds, is space and cities, because we rarely get to see that. It's usually either an isolated foreground or background, and usually an abandoned planet that's mostly going to get destroyed or mostly just going to get wrecked. So that's pretty much the extent of and also the OG tournaments. But beyond that, we don't really get to see a lot of characters featured in space and in cities. We get that in this chapter, and I love that. So hopefully more of that, because Toyotarō is really good at exploring and drawing those kind of backgrounds with his artistry. So that's pretty much the extent of the chapter I want to talk about. Hope you guys enjoyed, and comment below. Let me know what you think about Chapter 18 of the Dragon Ball Super manga. Well, right before I finish off this video, I'd like to get into my Black Friday haul. Yes, everything I got on Black Friday. Yeah, well, essentially this year was a very interesting year when it comes to Black Friday. If you listen to the podcast, the recent episode of the podcast over at EvoScar23's channel, then you would know that my year when it comes to Black Friday sucked a big bag of dicks. Last year was really good. It got kind of crazy, but I got a lot of cool extravagant things. I think I made a video on it. Some links will be in the background, which was Spiro BB-8, which is pretty phenomenal, a new TV, and a stack of Blu-rays and DVDs. So that was pretty much the extent, if memory serves me correctly, that I got last year. This year, however, was kind of just garbage. So I kind of just got a bunch of things I don't really need, but I just got just cuz, really. So first off, I got a Best Buy $200 gift card, which is what it is. And I also got this right here, a Insignia 8-inch Flix tablet for Android. Yes, I got this tablet. I'm not really big into tablets. I feel like, for a guy like me, I've seen all of them and how all of them are used, but I never had a necessity to get a tablet. But I decided, I got this gift card, I could use it for something else, but you know, the things that I would have wanted, like a 360 camera or shit in that kind of range, it just wasn't really something I needed. Like, if I love those 360 cameras that are in 4K and shit, but like, what am I going to do? I probably use it like once and then never use it again. So like, I decided, fuck it, just use a tablet. I'll just use it on the go. I'll use it for certain purposes, maybe for behind the scenes content and stuff like that. So I kind of got it, I got it with a gift card, so who really cares? I can return it tomorrow if I wanted to, so who gives a shit? But with that being said, let's get into the stack of Blu-rays, because that's pretty much all I did get out of Black Friday, other than this Insignia tablet, which is kind of cool. Kinda. I don't know. I'll probably return it. We'll see what happens. But anyways, let's get into the Blu-ray stacks I got. This year I got Creed on Blu-ray. Creed, fucking phenomenal film. I'm not a huge fan of the Rocky franchise or boxing films in general, but I love Creed. It's just so good. Also, I got Captain America Civil War and Deadpool, two of my favorite comic movies. Probably, if not the two best comic movies of the year. Also, Django Unchained Steelbook. Fucking phenomenal movie. One of my favorite Quentin Tarantino films. Dragon Ball Z Blu-ray Season 9. Essential. Essential. I mean, come on. Dragon Ball Z. Ghost in the Shell 25th Anniversary Edition. I really didn't want to buy this because it doesn't come with any bonus features. And if you looked at my Suicide Squad video, then you would know I fucking hate buying Blu-rays or movies or any kind of physical copy if it doesn't come with extra shit. I don't like that. However, I really got stoked when I watched the Ghost in the Shell trailer. Is actually surprisingly good if you haven't seen it, especially the shelling sequence. And I was like, I love Ghost in the Shell. I'm hyped for the movie. I'll get the original on Blu-ray. And even though it doesn't have special features, at least I got the original film on Blu-ray. which is what really counts, I guess. And also, I definitely suggest and recommend you check it out if you are hyped for the movie, because based off the trailer, most of its inspirations and I guess overall content that's being drawn over source material wise is specifically from the film itself. So I definitely suggest you pick up the Blu-ray. But with that being said, 15th anniversary of Good Will Hunting, really awesome film. I always loved it. One of my favorite Robin Williams roles. And also, if you want to get a nice retrospective on the film, you know, several years later with Ben Affleck and his weird like Argo hair, you get that version of the movie. But with that being said, also Mad Max Fury Road, fucking love this movie the second it came out. I mean, Tom Hardy may not talk, but he doesn't need to. He's that fucking badass. And also, to top it all off, and lastly, True Detective Season 1, or as I like to call it, the only good season out of the True Detective series. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people have said this, but it's true. True Detective Season 1 is fucking awesome and the only good season out of this entire HBO series. Also, I mean, like, if you want to get some kind of content from Hollywood that has actress Alexandra Daddario in full frontal nude with her heavy fucking huge breasts in full front of the camera for all of us to enjoy, you get True Detective Season. You just do. I'm sorry it sounds misogynistic and sexist to put in those terms, but you just do. It's just fucking phenomenal. Or you go out and watch Baywatch, which I think will be coming out soon, by my personal hero, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Because in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, we trust. And anything he does, you just do. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been my personal stash, I guess, or haul I got at Black Friday. Nothing really extravagant like last year. I wanted to get like a phantom drone, or like a new computer, or a new phone, or some form of fucking new camera, and microphone, but there's just, this year just, it wasn't my year, and a lot of that has to do with outside influences, but for the most part, I'm pretty much moderately happy with what I got, and I can just return it if I have a real big issue with it. So, and also, there is something that I wish I kind of should have gotten, was the, I don't know if anybody saw them, but, and I've seen YouTubers review them already, but the Hasbro Legends Iron Man helmet and Captain America shield. I really wanted to get those, but god damn it, I just really didn't feel like wasting the money on those shits, because the Iron Man helmet looks cool, but it has this stupid like Transformer sound effect, and it doesn't open up and move like the movie version, or like other like $1,000 replicas that other people make, so that's a real huge bummer. And plus, owning a cap shield would be fucking inspirational and awesome to have, but it's just, I don't feel comfortable owning the shield unless I have like a full like role-playing, like cosplaying, like cap fucking costume, which I would never get. So I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future, but that's pretty much all I got on Black Friday. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below. Let me know what you personally think. And of course, before you leave, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and this has been Jonch12.